King Viserys suffered from a mysterious condition where his wounds refused to heal. Even a small cut previously inflicted by the Iron Throne had festered, spreading infection across his entire finger. Since the Mesters could neither identify the root cause nor provide a cure, they resorted to using maggots to consume the necrotic tissue in a desperate attempt to control the affliction. When the king mentioned considering a marriage alliance with the Master of Ships, the Mesters unanimously supported this powerful union. Yet Otto Hightower, the Hand of the King, harbored his own calculations that prioritized his personal power and piety. Exploiting the king's vulnerability for emotional bonds, Otto successfully planted seeds of opposition against this alliance deep within Viserys' mind.
I dearly loved my own lady wife. The pain of her passing still haunts me.
Otto's scheme proved effective when the king met his prospective bride, the 9-year-old Lady Lena. Realizing that this union lacked any emotional foundation or shared interests, Viserys saw it as nothing more than a tool for breeding heirs and securing power. This troubling thought lingered persistently, fueling his growing resistance toward the match.
Your Grace, it would be a great honor to join our houses as they were in Old Valyria. I would give you many children of pure Valyrian blood so that we might strengthen the royal line and the realm.
Is that what your father told you to say? What did your mother tell you?
That I wouldn't have to bed you until I turned 14.
I intend to marry the Lady Alicent Hightower before Spring's End.
This is an absurdity. My house is Valerian, the greatest power in the realm.
And I am your king.
King Viserys had not only offended his cousin-in-law Corlys Velaryon, but also deeply disappointed his daughter, Rhaenyra. Now that the king had chosen to marry into the Hand's family, the Master of Ships found himself pushed into a desperate corner. A rebel force had emerged at sea, led by Kragas Drahar, a man known as the Crab Feeder because he fed his prisoners to crabs. Corlys approached the king's brother, Daemon.
I will not have Driftmark beggared while our king idles himself with feasts and balls and tourneys.
I will speak of my brother as I wish.
That very night, as the Crab Feeder struck again, Daemon rode his dragon Caraxes through the darkness to sweep across the enemy's main gathering point of the port. Facing dragonfire that illuminated the sky, the armed infantry stood no chance and were forced to retreat into the caves for cover. Despite Daemon's attempts to provoke him, the Crab Feeder remained completely unmoved. The surrounding terrain favored archers who rained down flaming arrows that instantly halted Daemon's advance. Surrounded on 3 sides and struck by an arrow himself, he had to temporarily retreat with Caraxes. The army suffered heavy casualties, and the few remaining soldiers grew resentful of this losing war. It became clear that they needed bait to lure the enemy out. However, Lanner's uncle questioned who among the Velaryon kin present would willingly march to their death as bait. Daemon, who had just returned from the battlefield, overheard these doubts. With his dragon currently useless and his mercenaries largely gone,
Prince Daemon, I bring word from His Grace Viserys Targaryen.
Upon receiving a missive from the king, Daemon initially believed his brother was finally offering substantial aid. Yet after reading it with high hopes, he realized Viserys was merely sending a symbolic force of 2,000 men, which barely matched their current numbers. This perfunctory display of brotherhood felt like a knife driving deep into Daemon during his most helpless moment. A risk-taker plays without regret. Daemon decided to gamble everything by offering himself as the bait to lure the enemy out. Even though his brother was no longer the man he expected, in his heart, the bond of blood always reigned supreme over the throne. He raised a white flag and surrendered his Valyrian steel sword to symbolize his identity.
No!
Just as the captain took the blade and turned to inspect it, Daemon suddenly struck. After eliminating the nearby squad, he began to sprint, charging through a rain of arrows toward the caves. While arrows missed him time and again, Daemon's fighting momentum continued to soar. The Crab Feeder sent out a 2nd, 3rd, and 4th squad in succession. Daemon broke through every single one of them. Eventually, exhausted and struck by 2 arrows, Daemon was forced to crawl under the nearest wooden wreckage for cover. Seeing that no dragon had appeared, the Crab Feeder immediately ordered his entire army to mobilize and surround the lone dragon rider. At that exact moment, the silver dragon sea smoke tore through the sky. The archers on the high ground were instantly melted by dragonfire. Witnessing the crab feeder retreat into the cave, Demon immediately chased after him alone, while the rest of the army and the dragon cut off any escape routes. With this battle, Damon's first command performance, his rage awed the entire Seven Kingdoms. Childbirth is the cruelest battlefield, and even a princess cannot escape it. Right after delivering her third son, Rhaenyra is told by her maids that the queen demands to see the infant immediately. With no time to rest, she cradles the newborn and leans on her husband for support. They slowly march across the castle hall together. The queen orchestrated this entire ordeal just to assert dominance and prove who truly holds the power.
You should be resting after your labors.
I have no doubt that you would prefer that, Your Grace.
Feigning concern, the queen approaches the new mother. But the moment she notices the infant lacks silver hair, she immediately mocks Sir Lanner.
Do keep trying, Selena. Sooner or later you may get one who looks like you.
All the princess's children have dark hair, while the queen's offspring possess signature silver locks. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra's eldest son, Jaehaerys, begins his dragon training. To cement their magical bond, he only needs to call out the name Vermax while commanding the beast to breathe fire.
Dracarys Vermax!
In contrast, the queen's second son, Aemond, repeatedly fails to connect with the dragon. Seeing this, the other three boys decide to bully him. They trick Aemond by claiming they found a wild dragon as a gift.
Behold, the pink dread. Be sure to mount her carefully. First flight's always rough.
Humiliated by his own brother and refusing to back down, a frustrated Aemond finally decides to sneak into the dragon pit alone. A massive beast with a wingspan of 180 meters and weighing 1,260 tons serves as the daily mount for Lena Velaryon. Flying right beside her is her husband Daemon Targaryen, a pure dragon blood prince riding the bloodworm Caraxes. Ever since eloping at the royal wedding, the couple walked away from the political battlefield to travel the world together. Raising two daughters abroad provides a peaceful life, even while various noble houses constantly try to recruit them. With their third child soon to be born, Lena desperately wants to return to their homeland. However, she fails to convince Daemon and ultimately chooses her husband's will over her own. They prepare for the delivery in a foreign land, but this labor proves incredibly difficult. The infant is not positioned correctly and simply will not come out.
Must push now, my lady!
Seeing Lena has exhausted all her strength, the master suggests a surgical delivery despite the dangerously high risk.
We could lay open the womb, try to remove the infant by way of the blade.
But I cannot say for a surety whether it lives.
Would the mother survive it?
Unwilling to subject his wife to such a cruel procedure, Daemon hesitates. But when he turns around, Lena is already gone from the bed. Having overheard the entire conversation, she fully understands that survival is impossible, regardless of his choice. While ordinary women in this era are bound to the pain of childbirth, this noble carries ancient dragon blood. A true dragon rider is simply not meant to perish like this.
Alicent, stay with the king! Hold your ground! Do not suggest Alicent!
Facing the tragic aftermath, King Viserys is torn. Aemond is his biological son, while the dark-haired boys belong to his daughter, Rhaenyra. Upon learning that Aemond provoked the fight with the word bastard, Viserys refuses to acknowledge the underlying scandal. Instead, he simply orders both sides to apologize, but the queen demands an eye for an eye.
Alicent, this matter is finished. Do you understand?
Consumed by fury, Alicent loses control. She snatches the royal dagger and lunges toward the young princes, plunging the room into absolute chaos. Once as close as sisters, these two women have been pushed to the breaking point by conflicting loyalties and the hunger for power.
Release the blade, Alicent.
And to even that you feel entitled. Exhausting, wasn't it? Hiding beneath the cloak of your own righteousness. But now they see you as you are.
This single cut severs their childhood friendship forever and marks the true beginning of the royal civil war.
Do not mourn me, mother. It was a fair exchange. I may have lost an eye, but
but I gained a dragon.
I have known Viserys longer than any who sit at this table, and I will not believe that he said this on his deathbed alone with only the boy's mother as a witness. This is seizure! It is theft! It is treason! I will have no part! Down!
Enduring immense agony, the dying king refuses milk of the poppy, choosing a clear mind over a numbed body. But his time has finally run out. In his final delirious moments, Viserys mistakes the queen for his daughter and whispers the ancient prophecy of the Song of Ice and Fire. He gasps that the promised prince, Aegon, must lead humanity against the darkness.
Aegon.
Our son.
Misunderstanding his words, Alicent believes her husband is naming her own son, Aegon, as the rightful heir.
He told me he wished for Aegon to be king. His last words to me, and I was the only one to hear it.
Upon hearing the news, the Hand of the King ignores the truth and immediately summons a council to test the Lord's loyalties. Otto Hightower's true plan is far more ruthless, to eliminate Rhaenyra entirely, when the Master of Coin protests, declaring,
I will have no part! Down!
The Lord Commander of the Kingsguard draws his sword in defiance, but the room is already under the Queen's influence, and the Hand declares that no dissenting voices will be tolerated. Though Alicent agrees to place her son on the throne, the memory of her old friendship remains. She firmly refuses to sanction Rhaenyra's assassination, setting the stage for a fractured crown.
And yet...
One more word and I'll have you removed from this chamber and sent to the wall.